The role of the nurse dates back to the early 1800s and Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale is well known as the founder of modern nursing. Florence Nightingale was born in Florence, Italy, on May 12, 1820. Part of a wealthy family, she defied the expectations of the era. Nightingale began her God-given calling by attending the first school of nursing, the Lutheran Order of Deaconesses. While attending the school, she wrote a pamphlet strongly urging other young women to embrace nursing. She targeted farmers' daughters and encouraged them to stop wasting their days and minds on tea parties and carriage drives. Her encouragements worked, and in 1853 she and 38 volunteers were recruited by Sidney Herbert, Secretary of War, to serve as nurses in the Crimean War. Upon their arrival to Scutari, they came upon the wounded British soldiers and the horrifying sanitary conditions in which they were being housed. Along with no clean linens and a poor supply of medicine, the soldiers were left in filthy cloths infested with parasites. There were no towels, basins, or soap, and only 14 baths for approximately 2,000 soldiers. Diseases such as typhus, typhoid, cholera, and dysentery were killing off soldiers 10 times more than the injuries themselves. Nightingale and her crew went to work and began a sanitary reform to help reduce the risk of infections. Hand washing and regular cleaning of the ward greatly improved the lives of the wounded. Good hand hygiene plays a vital role in preventing exposure to infectious pathogens that potentially contribute to nosocomial infections and thus promote patient safety. Nightingale went on to publish Notes on Nursing in 1859. This book was designed specifically for nurses that gave practical advice on how to care for patients. It included hand hygiene procedures and the importance of keeping the hospitals clean. It also instructed nurses on the importance of managing other environmental factors such as proper lighting and noise control. As the years went by, Nightingale consulted and advised at many hospitals and eventually established her own school of nursing at St. Thomas in London in 1860. Here students were professionally trained to promote the high standards of care outlined by Nightingale herself. Her students were soon referred to as the Nightingale nurses and were being recruited by hospitals all over the world. It wasn't long before hospitals from all over the world were seeking Nightingale nurses to state new schools for nurse training. By the 1880s they could be found in the United States, Sweden, Germany, Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. Over time, interventions related to combating infections have evolved, but they are all still based on Florence Nightingale's teaching and Notes on Nursing. Other honorable nurses include Dorothea Dix and Mary C. Cole. Dorothea Dix became known as a prominent mental health nurse. She advocated for patients suffering from mental illness by inspecting institutions for signs of mistreatment. Mary C. Cole, a biracial nurse who served alongside Florence Nightingale during the Crimean War, published an autobiography, The Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. C. Cole in Many Lands. From the Crimean War to the recent wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, nurses have played an essential role in promoting patient safety and preventing the spread of infectious diseases. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed learning about the history of nursing.